Welcome to the Bass and Brews podcast, your weekly distraction from other high-quality podcasts. And now, your host, Alex from Swamp Rat Fishing, and the co-hostess with the mostest, the Jabberhammer, Paul Roberts.
You fucked it up.
Go ahead, Paul. Paul, do it. Do your stupid catchphrase.
Hello. Hey, why are we live on YouTube?
We shouldn't be.
I'm
Anyways, what's up, everybody? It's Babcast, and we're here to do it yet again. Paul hates that name. I hated it too, but I'm starting to love Babcast now. Before we get into that, we've got Chandler with Island Time Photography. It's going to be an awesome episode. We got a little housekeeping. So let's get to that first. First things first, I want to thank everybody who came out to the end of the year Kegger show. That was there were so many highs and lows of that show.
It was
just
all
me
highs. It was all highs. Watching you fiddle, fart, and fumble your drink into your lap. That was just classicness.
I mean, we're a minute and 25 seconds in, and I want a big fuck you to Wild Bill Fishing for that's the clip that he decided to promote is when I lost a half a cup of bourbon into my lap. And what's really funny is I came to bed that night. One, I fell at least 4 times getting upstairs and into bed. And Amanda rolls over and she's just like, "You smell like bourbon." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I had a little bit of bourbon." And she instantly, I think she had a sixth sense. She put her hand underneath the covers and goes, "Why is your crotch wet? And why does my hand smell like bourbon?" And I was like, "Bro, it's a long show."
Why you didn't change out of them wet ass bourbon soaked panties into some clean dry drawers?
Dude, I'm telling you, I fell 4 times I fell twice going up the stairs. I fell once going out for libations, and then I fell again going in from the libations. It was a great time though, and I want to thank everybody who came out. I know we had some issues with trying to find time for people. We're going to work on formatting it a little bit better. I say that, but we probably won't. It'll be a shit show the next time we do it because that's how we do it. The other piece of housekeeping is stickers. Stickers are for sale. Shout out to Hands On Adventures. He literally hit me up 30 minutes ago and he said, "Hey man, it's the new year. How do I get those stickers?" So what you need to do is you can hit me up on the socials, whether it's TikTok or Instagram or the Bass and Brews email. We do Venmo and PayPal, $3 of stickers. We've got the traditional logo. We've got the exploded head logo. And then if you want the Swamp Rat ones, we have those as well. They're $3 a pop. You can hit us up there and we'll send them out in the mail. Paul, you got anything?
I went TikTok live again today. It was wonderful.
Oh my God, you're the worst.
I've been seeing all these people just sit on TikTok live eating food, and I'm like, my fat ass can do that. So I did it. Hey, collard greens, pickle spears, and bread and butter chips, pickle chips. It was wonderful. You know what I didn't do today?
Fish.
Yep, I didn't go fishing. I didn't lose a jackfish, and I did not catch bass.
I went fishing today and I slammed it. So that's better than your day. So I don't want to hear about it. And I think that really plays in well. If you guys don't know, you guys can call area code 609-837-9394 and leave a voicemail for us on our voicemail line there. But we got one today. We're going to play it here live. And whoever this caller was, I'm with them because the people have spoken. They're tired of the hate that you give me, Paul.
Hi, yes, is this the Bass and Brews? Hi, yes, is this the Bass and Brews hotline? This is, Mike Crabtree, the longtime listener, big fan. Listen, what's up with chatterbaits? They don't really like chatter, you know? It's more like a click, 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 click. I wouldn't call that a chatter. And also, I'm not really a good fisherman. I've been listening to my cousin, Dave, he gave me some solid advice, find the grassiest part of the pond and throw your whopper plopper. I have got no success on that though. To the point I'm ready to snap my rods and throw them in the water and say, fuck it. But if you say I should keep at it, then I will keep at it. Okay. I just need some more, advice if you could. Long time listener. Like I said, I love you guys. Paul, I'm sorry. You're rude to Alex. That's just not nice. You're a funny guy until you pick on his height, you dickhead. Okay, bye.
Listen, the people have spoken. Also, you're absolutely right. I probably shouldn't have had his phone number up there. But so if you want to know who said that, you can bounce on to the YouTube page and see it live. That's all the announcements. We've got Chandler with Island Time Photography. Chandler, how are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Wonderfully wonderful.
I can't complain. It's been a very warm day here on the beach amidst the freezing weather we just had. I think it's coming back. Who knows? It's North Carolina.
Yep.
Oh,
it's not supposed to be like it was a week and a half ago, though, where it was in the teens and the 9 and 10 degrees one morning.
Is that what you guys had? I think the lowest we saw was 17, 16 degrees.
Yeah, it was 9 degrees one morning. I took the dogs out for a walk in my shorts and t-shirt and no shoes. It was wonderful. I felt so refreshed afterwards.
Are you a fan of the cold weather?
Yeah, much more than the hot weather. One, because I'm fat, and two, I grew up in the South, and it's hot weather. And you only take so much off. It's still hot.
You're right. For me, I've always felt it as I can never put enough on. I'm a cold bitch right now. And it's just cold. But once the summertime comes around, I don't care. Like, I'm warm. My fingertips aren't dead and frozen, but I'm still going to bitch about it's being hot outside, because by the end of the workday, I'm out taking pictures of the houses. I'm out in the heat. And then I may have a session after work. So I am just double sweaty by the time I'm done. And I'm just like, you know what? At least I'm not freezing my dick off,
Right. Well, if
Look,
you guys don't know,
hold on. Damn it. Don't cut me off. I love it when my feet and fingertips get so cold I can't feel them. That's the best. I mean, that right there lets you know you're alive and everything's working all right.
No.
It concerns me sometimes. Are they working right?
Look, just put them up under your armpits.
That's exactly what I do. Yeah. And people are like, what are you doing? I'm warming up my fingers, dude.
Wasn't that an old SNL skit? Wasn't that an old SNL skit? Like,
oh yeah. That's was that Sherry O'Terry who used to do
shoves them underneath?
Yeah, and it smells them. Yeah, it was Sherry O'Terry. I can't remember the character that she played, but that's Sherry O'Terry.
It was superstar, right? She was a superstar. Anyways, if I can do the proper podcast segue now, Paul, if that's okay with you. A nice seamless segue. Speaking of superstars, we've got Chandler from Island Time Photography. We found her through TikTok. Amazing photos. She does have, she's on the beach, so it's outdoors, but also has a connection to commercial fishing. Awesome. I mean, we're just stoked to have you on. It's going to be a good time.
I'm stoked to be here.
So, Paul, where's your whole get 'em up on all right, here's the Paul thing. I've been working on it. Y'all look. So let's say, Chandler, tell us how you got to be on this show right now.
Where's Drew when we need the hand clapping button now? Drew needs to come produce this since he has the mixing board to make hand claps, because that was good, except you said lick instead of look.
Lick.
Anyways, tell us about yourself. Tell our listeners about yourself.
Well, I grew up on the Outer Banks of the North Carolina. I've been here for almost 27 years.
So, Chandler, how accurate is the TV show The Outer Banks to growing up on the Outer Banks?
Some people may hate me for this one, but I personally have not watched the show. I have like a personal boycott with the show. And it's only because it's brought in that demographic of people who believe what they're seeing. And I'm like, did you guys not grow up coming here in the summer? Like, I mean, a lot of kids who grew up here in the summer and who, they come here often. And then this new round of kids are like, oh, there's a fairy. And I'm like, no. And like, they're expecting palm trees. And I'm like, we don't have palm trees.
Got a bunch of oak trees.
The one thing that I know that has stuck with me, I think, was like the opening line of the first episode where it's two different lives where you either have two houses or two jobs. That's spot on. That is spot on.
And then the rest of it's just bullshit.
I can't vouch. I can't vouch for that one.
Wasn't that like a murder mystery show?
I think it was, and I don't know if they based it around anything that ever happened here or if it was just something they took off with the idea.
The only thing I know about the Outer Banks is living in South Jersey, I have to see an abundance of OBX stickers on the back of a shitty fucking SUV right next to the Salt Life sticker. And it's because they went to the Outer Banks once. And now they think they're like fucking super cool. And you'll ask them, I'll be like, oh, you go to the Outer Banks a lot? And they're like, oh, yeah. We went once in 2002. And I'm like, motherfucker, it's 2023. like, what are you doing? They're like, oh, no, I mean, just everybody gets them.
It's the truth. Every asshole from out of town has a Salt Life sticker and an OBX sticker. And most of them live inland around a pond, maybe, or some asshole from up north. And that is true.
For everybody
in the background, Chandler, your voice got real deep.
Yeah,
Chandler. I'm sorry. My fiance cut in on me. He's actually the one that's introduced me into commercial fishing in the last we've been together for 7 years on New Year's. So that's where, thank you. That's where my insight came from into that world.
But he is right, though. I'm sorry, Chandler. We interrupt the lights, but he's completely right. This is speaking to the fiance. If I see somebody with a Salt Life sticker, I instantly know they don't fish because nobody who fucking fishes has that fucking sticker on their car.
Either bass fish or they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Whoa! Wow! Chandler,
hey, this is a bass fishing
hit the mute
podcast.
All right, gotta go, guys.
Not on you.
Bad bass fishing, but the people that are decked out in all like expensive gear and they think they're bass fishermen. That's what I'm talking about.
I guess I need to throw away all my like I don't
Salt
buy the
Life
Columbia. Yeah, my salt fishing shirts. I guess I need to throw all that shit away since I'm a bass angler. Damn it.
No, as long as you use top water, you're okay.
Well, I heard redfish is just a dumb bass.
You're correct.
Water fish. All right, there we go.
100% correct.
Look, you asked Chandler to introduce herself.
Mhm.
She said she was from the Outer Banks, and we took this damn podcast out in left field. We hopped the wall.
If you invite me on, it's gonna segue. You can bring it. If you can rope me back, I'll bring it back.
All right,
Good luck. Good luck, Alex.
There it is.
Good luck, Alex. You got
All
two,
right, we didn't
you got
get
two
interrupt-
Carolinians up in here that are going to tangentize your ass all night long.
Also, this is gonna fuck with when I try to do the captions for the clips. Every time we get fucking Southern people on, it means so much extra work.
I've heard YouTube has a very hard time with the Southern accents.
It would be really fucking bad.
Yeah.
It doesn't pick up the island brogue at all.
The what?
It's called an island brogue.
Bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Brogue.
like a dialect.
Oh.
It's like people from Boston have a Boston accent.
Yeah.
Like it originated, I think, from Ocracoke or somewhere like that. And it's a real Southern Creole dialect.
Okay.
Alex is kind of like my Canadian accent.
Let me hear that again to refresh everybody. Paul, let's hear it again to refresh.
We're going to order some pizza, eh? Get some pineapple on the Canadian bacon pizza, eh?
That was sorry. Sorry. Eh?
Wow. Holy shit. Straight to the point. Look, I can tell you're a TikTok troll. I can tell already.
Look, I'm not a TikTok
that's a good
troll.
reminder. I gotta reply to somebody's comment today too.
I went to art school.
Okay.
Oh shit. Did you do naked sculptures?
No, I didn't do any of the sculptures class.
She's lying.
So Chandler.
So they did offer. They offered like $15 an hour to be the sculpture.
Mm.
But I never took it.
Pissed your art teacher off.
No politics. Go ahead, guys.
All right.
So Chandler, back to your story. You're from the Outer Banks. That's as far as we got, and then I fucked it up.
Outer Banks. I started taking pictures about 10 years ago. I think actually I bought my first camera 10 years ago. People have asked me nowadays, what got you into it? And, when I really sit down and think about it, did you have Nintendo 64 growing up?
Mm-hmm.
I got a yes and no.
He's poor. He was poor. He didn't have that shit.
I had the original Nintendo, and that just, I was outside too much playing in the yard and stuff. Alex couldn't do that.
I was on the threshold of being outside and playing video games.
Mm.
I played Pokemon Snap growing up, right? And then it stuck with me ever since. And then I got older and I started getting the disposable cameras you would take to CVS. Yep. I would just burn them up, take them. And I just noticed at a young age that I was taking on photo as an art form and just really enjoyed it and just carried on. I went to East Carolina and I went through their art program. I have a bachelor's in art with photography. Now, after college, I am working in a marketing position for vacation rentals. So I get the full circle of living here.
Have you taken up flying a drone to do video and picture work for the marketing side of it, or are you still point and shoot?
So I have a drone. I've taken pictures as far as scenic, trying to fly and get used to it. I don't have my license yet as far as getting paid for taking pictures for our rental company. But in the future,
those are free. No, you get those Goodwill.
No, they're not. Hey, total side note, Chandler. So I just got mine 3 weeks ago. I've got a killer SETI guide I can send you. The 117 test. I've got a killer SETI guide for that.
Because, the parks. Another issue here is drone. I have a very limited area to where I can fly. Because we have a lot of Park Service land. We have a lot of the national, like Coquina Beach and the Cape Hatteras seashore, which takes up over half of the strip of Outer Banks. So really, I can only fly
in that.
No.
Birds.
But does it actually stop you in? I'm guessing you have like a DJI drone. That's what everybody has, right?
Yeah.
Does it actually stop you in the app?
It could. It's so old, and I haven't updated it, and I have that flight restriction cut off. Yeah. Even like at my house, I technically can't fly because I'm within 5 miles of an airport?
Yeah, but you can unlock it, but
yeah.
I probably should stop. We probably shouldn't be giving that advice on how to circumvent. But there's ways around. Hey, I'll send you some stuff. I took that Part 117 test, and it was like $25 to take the test, but the study guide will get you through it.
Thanks, dude.
Would that fly within an airport 5 miles? Is it a height restriction?
Correct.
That's what I thought. Okay.
So you can so when I was in Cali, we were right the Coast Guard base. Even the Coast Guard base was off limits. But I flew that bitch right up to it and over it. And as long as I didn't get within 10 feet, which is whatever. But also an airport.
That's like 6 Alex's tall.
Fuck off, Paul. No, but yeah, you're able to get in. There's a way on the app that you can like request access, and you can get into some of those areas a little easier. So
It costs money.
for what, to get access?
Well, with the Park Service, they definitely want your money.
I don't think so because it's an FAA restriction.
The
Not
folks are supposed to 30 your income for your pictures.
Oh, fuck.
Look like National Park Service what it costs for like photography.
Is that federal or is that state?
No, that's federal.
It's what? Federal.
Yeah, I think so because it's now National Park Service.
Yeah, National Park Service. That's federal. It falls under the Department of Interior.
Yeah, I think they do, but there's sneaky ways you can do it. So here's a fun way that you can do this legally without circumventing the rules. You cannot launch a drone in a national park, right? Unless you get the permits, but there's no restriction to you flying a drone in a national park. So what you do is you get to the edge of it and then you fly into the park.
That explains a lot because there's been a few people around who have taken certain shots with their drone that I know it's like.
Yep. So the whole rule is about you can't launch in it. You can fly in the park. You just got to launch outside of it.
That makes total sense.
Yeah. And also, since that was good advice, I'll give bad advice. If you guys have drones and there's like a firefighting crew, definitely fly that bitch right in there because that's really going to help them out.
Holy shit. Fucking drone was watching. Wings and everything.
I think what Chandler, what drew me to your pictures, first off, like you do a lot of like beach portrait photos, which are awesome. They're great photos. But what really first drew me was some of the work you did, I guess, with your boyfriend on doing the commercial side of it. They're really kind of like I feel like there's a while where we had a lot of really good commercial fisherman kind of content, if you want to say, like photos and things like that. And I feel like specifically, like as soon as COVID hit, we lost that. And I think that's because every asshole learned how to bass fish at that point and was just taking shitty selfies of themselves with a fish. And we lost some of the side. No, I mean, so like your photos are great. They show the grittiness. They show that it's not an easy job, and you're able to like kind of convey that all in pictures, which is not an easy thing to do. So that's kind of what drew me to your account at first. Is that something you want to pursue more? I know you're probably going to make more money taking wedding photos, but
I know, and you're totally right. The beachy portraits and the family, nobody really sees the family pictures. That's my main source of the income when it comes to photography is obviously family photos. That's something that we all hop on that bandwagon because we're new families each week. So there's that. But when I'm able and I'm not working, I love going out in the ocean. I love being able to document what they're doing. Because they don't have that. They don't have that voice other than themselves. So it helps to have like just something to show other than what the observers are saying or what the government is saying. Like, here's what.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry. I didn't mean to mute you. Go ahead. Start from there. Yeah,
like,
no.
What's happening?
I meant to mute myself. I had to burp, and I did not mean to mute you.
And then actually part of my thesis in college, when they told us when we were accepting our concentrations, we knew we had to do a thesis eventually, and I knew it was going to be in 2 years. So I spent 3.5 on my thesis, specifically documenting these guys and taking the documentative approach rather than the portraiture, like beauty glam, which I've grown to love. I love the documentary style photography. I'm trying now with TikTok growing has also pushed me to help get like into the documentary style videography, which has been a huge learning curve.
I think
TikTok.
I think I just do think it's awesome. I have worked on a commercial fishing boat a long time ago when I was a teenager. But I have dealt with commercial fishing for 20 years of my Coast Guard career, and those guys consistently bust their ass, and everything looks real pretty on Deadliest Catch, but even that is bullshit.
Even Wicked Tuna.
Wicked Tuna has officially ruined the bluefin fishery, and that is 100% fact. The guys now, they go fishing for bluefin, they don't ice their fish correctly, and it kills the market. You go from a $10 fish to a $2 fish because they don't know how to pack it, clean it.
You got these young buck weekend warriors going out and catching that bluefin because they can, when it's putting all of the commercial guys out.
And they used to be a real viable source of income in the winter, but now it's making good tuna fishing. Now you can't. Why go spend money on tuna? It's going to cost you in the long run.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird, like. So you mentioned that, like the young bucks going out, because it is. I mean, it's an open fishery, right? Anybody can go do it. But there are people that are making a living off of that fishery. Not you want to go out with your buddies, chug a bunch of beers, mishandle some fish, and sell that shit at the pier. It's a weird kind of like mix that you have to do, and it's definitely not. I don't know the Wicked Tuna guys. I know the Deadliest Catch guys though, and if that show is anything like Wicked Tuna, it's completely fucking fake on how they do all of it. So.
It is, and that is right. I've seen them when they were doing a scene. They were fighting a 5-gallon bucket to act like it was a fish. It's all bullshit. The prices aren't real, and it makes things look bad for a lot of people.
Which kind of was a motive. Another one of the motives behind what I'm doing is to show the real, show that what's really going on. You know, it's not just these big old 100-pound, 300-pound tunas. Sometimes these guys are going out and they're not catching shit.
I'm gonna say one more thing. These guys that have these like $500 million tuna fishing boats, that's not their only job. They own something else. There's no way possible you're gonna buy a Westback, which is a $500 million boat, and spend an extra $200 or $300 $100,000 rigging it. It does not happen. Either you're a drug dealer or you got family money. There's no way around it.
Well, I mean, this is the Outer Banks. You either own 2 houses or you have 2 jobs.
It's the damn. That part is really the damn truth.
The thing about doing the documentary style with the access to social media now is, we've talked about it a lot with some of the content creators, is the authenticity side of it. And so when people feel like they get the true view of something, what y'all are doing in the Outer Banks with your fishing, that draws people in. And 15 years ago, there was no way for you to be able to put that out there.
Absolutely.
It had to come from a TV show, and now we all have the capability to be able to go out there and show something that's authentic and really what it is. And that, it's hard to create content where you don't catch shit all day long. Alex is really good at it, but to show that content all day long and not catching thing, it takes somebody else to record that content, but then to make it interesting, because there's probably interesting shit that happens on the boat every day.
Absolutely.
So there's a lot of authenticity.
You don't ever know.
Yeah. a hook in the thigh. I mean,
yeah. I've seen some shit.
How are they catching their fish when they're? So what's the primary target that, like, your boyfriend and what you're documenting? What's the primary target they're going for?
As far as what he's fishing?
Yeah, species.
Yeah, so in the stuff that you're recording. And
so in those specific videos that everyone has seen, it's old stuff, which I'm also learning that it's okay to post old stuff, but it's ribbon fish, which in the recent years people have learning that that people could eat ribbon fish. People are not usually. That's not the first fish you hear or used to hearing when you could eat, but they're starting a program around where they're teaching about different fish species that you wouldn't have thought about eating, and showing them, you can actually prepare them, because in other countries, people love ribbon fish. So when they fish them, they usually are shipping them and packing them out.
Is it not normally sought after? Is it like an oily, fishy fish? I'm guessing.
No, once people figured out what the fish were, it's one of those things that we target them hard.
Yeah,
We
but
just
what was the reluctance?
Viable market at the time for it.
Okay.
What was the what?
What was the reluctance? Because a lot of times, I mean, so like, I notice most people, I would say, are like, they don't like an oily fish, but there's plenty of great fish out there that are delicious. Mackerel, Spanish, all that are delicious. They're wonderful, but people don't like them for that oily taste. So you have a lower market for it. Is this kind of in that realm, or are they like a light, flaky, do anything?
They're not. There's hardly any oil. It's almost like when you fry them up, it's almost like a chicken breast.
Okay.
Yeah, if you have a chance to try it, it's either called ribbon fish or I'll call them cutlass. If you have the opportunity to try it,
yeah,
you'll like it. I mean, we in the very start we get like $3.50 a pound for a fish. That's a lot of money. And
how are y'all catching them? Are you trolling, or are they net fish, or are they hook fish?
So what they're doing is they're dropping nets and they're letting them drag in the tide, and they let them sit for just a few, not very long, right? Just a few minutes.
Yeah, it's normally what we have 3 what we call ribbon nets on, which is 3 nets. Each consists of 300 yards, and we'll set all 3 nets, which is 900 yards, and then go back to the first one and start picking that one up. And so the last net has more soak time and normally has more fish. And that's normally how it happens, regardless of what we do. We set one time, and it takes us all day to fish however many nets we have, and then it's pretty much time to go in, because once it gets dark, you don't want to go through Oregon Inlet.
But unlike the Sound where you anchor your nets, these nets are drifting in the ocean.
Oh shit!
So there's the potential that if you don't know what you're doing, you can lose your shit.
Out there, we're so far out, there's so much tide that if you don't mark your nets correctly and know the tides, your net will be sucked off the edge, and it's gone.
Are these obviously, these aren't bottom dragging nets, right? These are mid column.
These are drifters.
They're considered bottom nets, but they sink slow.
Okay.
They fish from the bottom up, or mine fish from the bottom up 20 foot. Ribbon fish like to be higher up in the water column. So the higher up you can fish, the better you do. But trying to set gear like that fast when other boats are with you it's like a death wish, because you can't move fast enough with your crew, and bad things happen.
So what the scene? I'm setting the scene. When you're out there with these guys, there could be anywhere from, you could be by yourself, which isn't really ideal, but usually you're in a fleet of 8 to 15 boats who are all doing the same thing. And they're all running around each other. They're all looking for fish. And we're going kind of fast. Like, I wouldn't want to be driving. But everybody's also talking to each other, and you kind of have to work with each other, and some people over here might be dropping their net, and you got to work with this guy beside you and let them know what you're doing so they don't run your net over or they set on top of you. And then that way everybody can kind of get a little bit of the catch.
Everybody gets a piece of the pie at that point.
Without fucking everybody up.
But also, it's like every other job, there's always an asshole that don't likes. That's what the problems start. But most of the time, it's an unspoken rule of the water that you never leave anybody behind, no matter what happens. That's really how it is here, because the inlet's so bad. We've lost so many boats coming in and out of that place.
That's Oregon Inlet, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, notoriously gnarly there.
And if I'm gonna do a shameless plug here, if you want to watch anything about Oregon Inlet, if you haven't, there's a really good series on YouTube that a guy around here that we just ran into and met, and he's kind of documenting the Oregon Inlet and kind of showing people exactly what I'm doing, but kind of pinpointing his topic.
Also, shameless plug about Oregon Inlet. Funny enough, I'll be starting a side podcast. Me and Paul haven't been working out, but I am doing a side podcast where I talk to some of my favorite people in the Coast Guard. And the first episode is going to be, he was the OINC of Station Oregon Inlet for almost 10 years. That's the officer in charge of that Coast Guard surf station there. And he's got some fucking gnarly stories that we were recording about it.
Is he in a wheelchair? Because he's got to have big ass balls.
He does. Yeah. No. In real life, unfortunately, he did. So due to that surf, for a better lack of a term, pounding the shit out of him, he started getting issues with his back. So he does sit a lot. He is in a chair now, but he does have huge balls. He's a really good friend of mine. He retired quite a bit ago, but he was one of my first mentors in the Coast Guard many, many years back. And it was a really... What's that?
I didn't mean it in a bad way.
Yeah. No, you're good. No, you're good. No, you're good, man.
Is he in a wheelchair? Yes, actually he is. Oh shit! Damn it!
You say you have a problem with your body and like depression of your back.
Yes.
I'm almost 33, and I have severe back problems and feet problems because of being on the water.
Yeah, that shit will beat. I did almost 10 years underway in the Coast Guard on big cutters. But we hit big seas consistently, and I can feel it a lot now. And I can't even imagine being on a smaller vessel, getting pounded day in and day out. It definitely takes a toll on you.
When you go out to film or to video, how do you not get in the way? How are they not cussing at you? Get that shit out my face. I mean, does that happen?
They are.
Or do you know how to get around the boat without being in the way?
If I was a male, it would probably be a whole different ballgame. They have a very pretty, attractive female on their boat who has a camera. And if I just tell them, I say, hey, look, if I'm in your way, just tell me to move. Like, literally, you can push me. Just don't push me off. Just, maybe nudge me.
Another thing is, if I yell at her on the water, when I get home, I get my ass kicked. So.
Everybody's the captain. Everybody's the captain until they get home.
It's her boat now.
But there's never been a time where I usually know what I'm doing and know where to go. Or somebody will tell me, hey, maybe don't stand there. And I won't go back there.
Smart.
But I've never been into a situation where maybe I was about to lose something, knock on some wood, or like been hurt or anything like that. I've hurt myself more on sessions that were with people, not of my documented sessions.
You threw your back out trying to bend down to get that one shot with the sun in the background, and then you can't get up. And
it's totally happened. It's either my knees or my back.
There you go. How many folks are on the boat when y'all are out, when they're out there? How many crew are on the boat?
For that boat, it's usually just
two or three people is normally how it works.
Oh shit!
What's the size of the boat you're on?
Anywhere from 31 to like the biggest, I think, in the fleet's 45.
Okay. Yep.
Or no, I lied. Sorry, 48 is the biggest.
I mean, we got all the details. What's your Coast Guard registration number? Are you up to date? Can I see your ID at this point?
When I had the boat, I was completely. I already had my inspection. I had to do the life raft drill.
Yeah.
That just sucks.
Yeah, it does. It fucking does. You're right. And you know what's even worse is when you got to ask somebody to do it. It's fucking worse because you're like, I don't want to fucking do this either.
The guy in Hatters was like, he's like, I hate to do this to you, but I need you to put your suit on and like a minute, something seconds, whatever, and you need to jump in the water. I was like, yep. Are you serious? He's like, yep, you better wax that zipper good.
Yeah, because
you get
also
bed,
again, we don't want to do it because we could be sitting on our phones back at the station, fucking not doing anything, which would be great any day. that what my official retirement starts in, what are we at now? At time of recording, 27 days, I'll officially be out.
No shit.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
20 years. Thank you. But
for all intent and purposes, though, he is already out.
oh yeah,
has
I'm
been
out.
out.
Hence the
He's
beard
been
and
out.
everything, right? Yeah. But listen, I didn't join the fucking military to work. Like, and once you've been in for a while, nobody wants to fucking work, because when we do, it's usually like catastrophic. Shit's fucking popping off. It's nuts. I don't want to deal with that. And I definitely don't want to watch some fucking dude try to don his Gumby suit and jump in when I know as sure as fuck that he hasn't done it in forever. And I get it. Like, it happens. You got work to do. I got work to do. And unfortunately, I have to make you do this. And it's fucking stupid. I hate it. That's for another day, I think.
You
next
should
podcast.
bleep all that
Yeah.
out. You should bleep all that shit out until you're officially retired. They're going to start taking away your retirement.
Listen, Coast Guard, come at me. Come at me.
You don't want the smoke.
Exactly. Hey, so why so you guys only target ribbon fish, right? That's it.
At the time, usually he is pretty good at being well-rounded, and he'll do different things around the year. Of course, living here, there's plenty of different fisheries you can get involved in.
If you're not a multi-fisherman, you'll never make it.
Is it net only, or do you long line at all?
Hey Chandler, you can get your fiance to come and get
come
from the
on in.
camera
He
and
keeps
talk
come
too.
on.
I mean,
What
Jesus.
you got a warrant out for your arrest? There's like 4 people watching. You'll be all right, bud.
I'm butt-ass ugly. I don't want to do a film.
Yeah,
Hey,
well,
that's
Paul's
okay.
on the
So
show.
am
Look how
I.
ugly he is.
I mean, damn.
Oh, man.
He's not that ugly. He just talks really bad about himself.
Oh, he looks exactly. Listen, dude, he's got the Bieber flip. Like, you look like you're an extra on Outer Banks.
He needs a haircut.
He's the Justin Bieber of fishing.
Justin Bieber.
If I could sing, I would totally agree with
Look, this guy is the one who's pulling my views in. He is my thirst trap.
Yeah, exactly. So do you do long line at all, or just net?
I mainly net. I've done some long lining. It's just not something I really like to do. There's no excitement in it for me.
What do you feel about? So I've always grown up on the law enforcement side of this, learning that I guess we're going to be kind of controversial. So that long lining is a more conservative way to commercial fish, vice a net.
It all depends. There's a lot of different factors in that.
Mm-hmm.
There's still supplemental bycatch with long line that you're not supposed to catch. And it's the same way with a gill net. But I do what they call strike netting, is we target the fish and then we set around them.
Gotcha.
And then I also do anchored fishing, but I'm not like some of these yin yangs will just set anywhere where, they're not supposed to set. And that's when the problems arise. It's these people that think they're above everybody else and they own things. They end up making everybody look bad. It's like one rotten apple will ruin the whole basket, and that's what happens.
Tell me this: how do you find the target fish that you're going after? You're doing different fisheries and ribbon fish, and I'm assuming that they're in probably certain parts of the water certain times a year. But how do you go out and target? Are y'all using sonar, or do you just know this is where the hell they're supposed to be? So, what does that look like to find and target the specific fish you're hunting for?
It's kind of a little bit of both. We normally in the beginning of the winter, the ribbon fish and the croaker are up the northeast towards the towers up there, and they kind of migrate down from the Chesapeake. So, and then we have everybody has good sonar on the boat. If you don't have a good sonar, because we're out in 300-400 foot of water, if you have some piss hand sonar, you're out to lunch pretty much.
So your Garmin UHD 73 ain't gonna cut it out there.
It all depends on what transducer you have.
The GT 54.
Is that a fucking thing?
I just bought a Garmin, so.
Yeah, but you probably ain't fishing with the same Garmin or the same
Garmin that I have on my kayak.
Probably not.
The transducer is probably the size of the fucking kayak.
No, it's not that big.
I'm poor. I don't know what the hell Oh, you like I had to scrape up dimes and nickels to find that.
I think that transducer was like what, the size of like a couple of half dollars.
Okay. Wow.
I got a good deal. I got a Garmin touchscreen and a through-hole brass transducer for $400. The transducer alone is $400.
It's a steal. Yeah.
I was like, if it's stolen,
Oh, it's definitely stolen. It's definitely stolen.
That bitch hot. It's
Don't worry,
hot.
I'm writing that down.
I'm gonna at least use it for 6 months before I get taken away. So
Listen, I'm not actually out of the Coast Guard. This is just a really
notes.
in-depth undercover investigation into your operations.
my name is Scott, and I live in South Carolina. But most of the guys, they don't. Some guys will run Garmin's, but most people they run Fruno. That is the main thing because their sonar, their transducers are so good.
They're known for ocean.
You can ping something in 1,500 foot of water and know exactly what.
That's what we use. I mean, we have other stuff too, but even the Coast Guard uses Fruno for the bulk of their sonar and radar.
See, I'll use Fruno for finding fish for a radar, but when it comes to like navigation, like a regular NavNet Fruno, I will pick Garmin every day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Garmin.
Do y'all use any forward-facing sonar?
Repeat that.
Do y'all use any forward-facing sonar?
Most of ours is either the 20 or 40 degree. The forward-facing, that's like the high-class charter boats that fish for big money. Because I mean, those transducers are $5,000-$6,000 for a
dude. We've had people on this show that are strapping those motherfuckers to kayaks.
Are you serious?
It's a legit thing.
Not the same ones that the offshore saltwater guys are using, but they're still putting No,
he's talking about the same thing. So now the new thing is that so the intercoastal here in New Jersey, right? Huge for like fluke or you guys call them summer flounder down there, right? So summer flounder, winter flounder, all that shit, striper, bluefish, right? But they're using bass boat panoptics, right? Or whatever you want to call it, a forward-facing sonar to see those fish live on the bottom, and they're picking them off. And now the charter boats out of Atlantic City are strapping them to like a party boat, and they're rolling out to like wrecks offshore where they can actually see the amount of sea bass sitting on a fucking wreck and then just annihilate.
Yeah. Now I understand. You're talking about live view.
Yes.
Yeah, live scope.
I was thinking about like the big billfish boats. They have those really ones.
They have the top facing one. Yeah, no. This is like the live view, and we've had people on the show
on a kayak. That's what's worth more than the kayak and kayak truck too. Like,
Bo, you don't know how much kayaks cost.
I mean, I looked at one. It was like $9,000 for a fucking piece of plastic. Like, how do you?
That's what Paul has. That's what Paul has.
That is not what I have at all. I mean, with all the shit on it, maybe, but that's not how much
my favorite's when we have saltwater people on the show, right? And the saltwater people are my favorite because when we talk about shit, they're minimalist, right?
They don't have shit.
Like when we talk about
rods, a bag of lures.
Lures. They got a bag of cut bait that they're gonna fucking throw out on some octopus hooks.
You can hand us a line and hook and a chicken leg, and we'll come back with dinner.
Yes. I'll go out. Give me a cooler big enough to fit my ass in, a couple beers, and a cane pole. I'll outfish you.
I love it. Because you killed it there, Chandler. You said we can do all that and come home with food. We're gonna spend all this money, and we're not coming home with food at all because we're gonna throw those bass back.
We'll throw the bitches back in the water.
Hey, but you gotta lip them first, like Bill Dance.
Exactly.
And it's gotta be a bluefish or a mackerel. That's the only way.
So what's funny is I did go fishing today and I caught over 20 crappie. Guess how many crappie we ate today? 0, because I threw them all back.
Do y'all have a lot of redfin perch up there?
We do. They're it's in certain the tidal rivers. So I have a connection to the salt. I do primarily fish tidal, but it's the brackish side of it, right? So we're still affected by the tides. So I don't have a ton on the river I'm at. If you were to go, I don't want to give the direction. If you would go 50 miles from where I'm at, you could hit a river that's stock full of them. Mine is full of largemouth I just saw a picture of a fucking 5-pound white perch today. That this lady
Somebody said that to me the other day that it was like it's a world record or some shit. I've never seen a white perch
this
over
lady,
a pound and a half.
This lady caught it where I was fishing 2 weeks prior, and I said, "Ma'am, that's like a big deal. Could be a world record fish." And she goes, "Well, I don't know. I just fucking ate it."
She was shoving weights up that thing.
We got
nice talking to y'all. I'm gonna get a shower, but y'all take care.
Thanks, bud.
Good luck.
Yeah, like I told her, and she was like, "I don't know. I just ate it." So shout out to you. They're wonderful people, but she caught this giant, like, insane white perch. Like, they only get normally a pound. This thing was
not very big.
Right. It was insane.
Is this the same white perch that we got in our lakes down here in the Raleigh area? Or is
I
this a
believe-
whole different fucking white perch?
I believe it's the same
It's the
fish.
same thing. It looks like a miniature rockfish.
Go take a shower. We're done with you.
I can smell Justin Bieber's ass all the way over here.
You me sing for you?
Oh yeah, don't throw it out there.
I've sang on here before.
Do you guys have white perch in a lake? I've only seen them on like tidal shit.
Look, first off, we country, so we got fucked up names for shit. We call them white perch.
Jackfish.
The shit on the poster board when you go to like the ramps and stuff, the state ramps, they have white perch on them. So I call them white perch. Some people call them white bass, but they ain't white bass. They actually, those little motherfuckers, it is when you catch them with a treble hook bait, their gills are like razor blades. So when you go to try to grab them, it's like a razor blade fish with treble hooks in it. It's the quickest fish that I put a hook in your damn hand.
Have you ever picked up a croaker? They're identical.
Yep. I used to do a lot of surf fishing growing up, mainly for shark at night, and we catch either shark or a lot of croaker.
And then he unfortunately he had to stop because when Paul went into the water, they thought it was a manatee that went too far north.
Oh.
Oh,
It's more like a beach whale because I wasn't in the water. I was on the surf, a la the surf fishing, Alex. So it's more like a beached whale.
Total side note, Paul, do you remember on the end of the show Kegger when the Bass and Brews historian Tori had to ask the question to the audience of how much weight you've gained since you've been on the show?
Yeah, and so out of everything that y'all asked, that shit was the only lie out of everything.
I'm sorry that they did that to you.
Oh, don't be
fuck
sorry.
that guy.
Don't
This
be
guy's
sorry.
a
I
hide
have
us.
no shame. I have no shame at all. I mean, Alex spilt his drink and Tori laughed so damn hard it was the biggest cackle heard around the world.
I've got a special clip. I know she's listening. I'm working on something special where I've like totally gotten that cackle, and I'm trying to figure out how to get the sound into the show to use as a sound bar. As just I've pitched it up and down. I can make songs with it. It's going to be amazing.
But if you could isolate that cackle and get it on TikTok, that could be one of those viral tick sounds that people put in a TikTok when they do something stupid. That cackle was for sure. That's something we need to work on.
And that was
sure.
like an unbridled, like there was no holding that back. It came out of nowhere. I think there was a snort at the end of it. That was like what were we, over 2 hours into the live show at that point. I think I was 4 beers and 1.5 of these full of bourbon. It was
we could tell. And what's even funnier is Drew was eating and missed the whole thing. And everybody's laughing and shit. And Drew looks up like, what the fuck happened?
Yep. I like that our show got so rowdy that KBN left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Hey, Chandler, have they ever put your ass to work on the boat? Have you been out there just hanging out, doing something, and they're like, let's go. Yep. We got too many fish.
That guy, right? Justin Bieber has put me to work.
The last time we went fishing, I was like,
I thought his ass was going in the shower.
Oh, I gotta pick fish.
I've had to drive the boat. I've had to maneuver the boat. I haven't picked fish because I just won't put. I got to take pictures. So I got to keep my hands clean.
There's a lot of moving parts in a net reel. I won't let her do it.
So how are you sorting fish? Did the fish come in a net and drop on the table? They drop on the ground and you just start chunking them overboard or in the bucket or however they go?
They're stuck in that net. So once that net comes over the reel, you get like a section of it, and whoever's on just starts picking the fish out. And then once that section's clean, you let the reel go and wind the net back in, which I helped with. And then they'll start picking the fish again. And the key is when you have two people on picking it, you want to keep your net tight so it doesn't suck up underneath or
that'd be bad.
Something like that. So if there's those two are picking and I'm the third on the boat, I'm also running the gears to the net reel to make sure it's nice and tight in between when I've already taken a few pictures. So I'm not taking 100 pictures of the same bit.
Have you set up any GoPros around the boat and kind of got different angles of video shots?
I have not. I would love to in the future. But I always, I need to get more mounts and I need to get more GoPros. But I always like having the GoPro in my hand so I can stick it underneath.
Are you taking, I missed that for my union mandated tinkle break. Are you using a big camera or are you using a GoPro when you're on the boats?
So when I'm out and I'm taking pictures, I'm usually using my Nikons, my DSLR cameras.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Yeah,
well,
so
I was about to say, we're going to have
careful.
a whole, I was like, man, if she says GoPro, this is going to be a 3-hour TED talk on how those photos look fucking amazing and how she got that on a GoPro.
So the GoPro, I will say that they have come a long way since what I've had in the past. And I haven't used mine very much, but what I have pulled from it, they're great, like wide angled, crispy, clear F16 photos for like I personally got it to do water photography because I couldn't justify spending $2,000-$3,000 on the housing unit for the camera itself.
And then, and then also you have Lightroom to make it all better, right?
Absolutely. Gotta love Adobe Lightroom. I don't use Photoshop.
If you guys haven't seen it, I know recently you've been putting out like little tips and tricks, which I fucking super appreciate, and you should keep rolling with that.
I will, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, even more. I'm not trying to give you all the business ideas, but some of your shots are gorgeous that you can make into presets, which I'm sure some people would buy.
So I have presets of my own. I just don't use them as often as I used to when I first started. I actually have a batch of presets that I get myself from a group of people who shoot primarily in the beach area. I think they're both from Hawaii. So those presets just kind of make sense to where I am. And of course I throw my tweaks on them, but I think in the long run and eventually I want to look back into making my own presets again and selling them.
What the fuck's a preset?
Preset is your fancy modern term for an Instagram filter. That's what I like to call them.
Holy shit!
So
I'm writing that.
Are
Hold
you
on,
putting like
Man.
Are you putting like lipstick and eyelashes on fish or something?
No. So
well, I mean, she said it was a damn Instagram filter, and I mean,
Instagram filters are before Snapchat filters.
I've never done
Paul,
Snapchat.
The only filters he's ever used on anything are the ones that make him have makeup and have him riding a pig, because that's all he wants to do in life.
First of all, I have never used a filter to ride a hog because I grew up in South Carolina and we rode hogs for fun.
Yeah, for shits and giggles.
Yeah, there ain't nothing like sneaking up on a big 400-pound sow sleeping and jumping on her back and grabbing her ears and trying to hold on, because the first 5 or 10 seconds, they don't know what to do. So they just run around. But after they realize you're on them, then they start running up into the fence and the trees and shit like that. And I mean, it's a good time.
And your cousin was okay with you jumping on her back?
That's not nice. That is not nice. You're just mad because you're too short to jump on the back of a pig.
He had that one, and ever since you started talking about the pig, I could see it on his
You
face.
can see it where I was like loading up. Look, I even like preloaded the timestamp because that'll be on TikTok next week.
It's okay. Alex is so short he couldn't even use a stirrup to get on a pig. Hey, tell me this now. What is the craziest thing you've ever seen on the boat come up from the depths of the ocean?
Oh shit. I don't remember the name of it, but I have a picture of it somewhere on my phone. I think it was a toadfish.
Oh yeah, they're ugly as sin.
Oh, it scared the shit out of me.
Ugly as sin.
There's a couple of things, and I don't only because I'm not out there so often. I've seen stuff that he's sent me, but I think what personally has been a toadfish because those things are just the ribbon fish don't scare me. They have these gnarly little teeth. I've had starfish come up.
Any octopi?
No, I've not seen any personally. There is some squid that'll run around every here and there when you're catching shrimp.
They good eating.
Though I love squid.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy enough, fish is like the last thing I'll prefer when it comes to seafood. I ate a lot of it growing up. I ate a lot of whitefish growing up, like flounder. So like we had a lot of that, and I'm so sick of it. I'll eat the hell out of shrimp, oysters. I don't eat blue crab meat. The only time I eat the blue crab is when it's a soft shell because I can eat that whole bitch fried, crispy, ready to go. No one's got to pick that shit for me.
I'm gonna go right here. I know
What's
I've been
wrong
running
with
this
blue
series. Unpopular opinion in seafood eating. Blue crab can suck a dick. It's way too much work for very little meat.
That's why I like the soft shell crab because that's where you get
a real crab like a Dungeness or a snow crab. Go fuck off, blue crab.
So the soft shell crab, you eat the whole thing, like
guts,
you
eat that
innards,
whole bitch.
eyeballs.
Absolutely. Shell.
Now,
you eat all of it.
That's actually preference based because some people will eat it whole fried. When I worked in the seafood restaurant, we cleaned them. We cleaned their backs and their aprons, and we cut the faces off, clean them out, fry them up. The best. It is. It is. I just took a sip of beer at the same time. That was great.
Oh.
Alex wants to be me so bad, but
personally, if I had to have a choice of the blue crab meat, I would take the soft shell any day. But like you said,
too much work.
Too much work.
Like people. Okay, so people eat fucking blue crabs for the experience, not for the taste totally or the thing. Yeah. Like, I get that, right? Like you're down at a table, it's covered in fucking newspaper or whatever you have down there. You're drinking.
It's messy. I don't like eating like that. Like I don't like eating shrimp sometimes because of just like the spice and like all of that shit that just gets under your nails.
Hey, have y'all seen the videos of the Asian fishermen coming in on the port and frying up all this stuff that they caught and eating it? Have y'all ever seen those videos on YouTube?
Those big old. They got big old bowls.
Yep.
Yeah.
Octopus legs.
The whole octopi. They eat the whole damn octopus. But have y'all seen them eat the shrimp shell and all? I don't know how the hell they do that. If I fucking peel a shrimp and get a piece of shrimp shell in my
dude,
mouth,
if you grill it right. No. So if you take,
it's like I got a hair in my mouth.
If you take like a prawn and you cook it properly, I'll eat the shell. No problem.
What?
All the way
My
through.
grandmother eats shrimp tails when they're fried.
Oh no, shrimp tails are delicious, fried or grilled. You eat that. I eat that whole thing. And what's funny is I've gotten my 9 and my 7-year-old to eat it too. They're just like, we've got to eat the whole animal. And my wife's like, they're going to be serial killers now. And I'm like, no, they'll be fine.
They'll know how to not waste anything.
Exactly. Paul, you don't eat the tail? Paul doesn't eat any tail.
Untrue.
See, like here was my secret. When I worked in the seafood restaurant, and there was a day I wanted some steamed shrimp, and
so is this? So you're about to tell us the secret to eating tail?
No, the secret to eating good shrimp without having to worry about being messy. You peel it before you steam it.
Yeah. Wait, people don't do that?
I don't think so. I thought I was a genius when I thought of it.
I think everybody peels it, homie.
So no, when we
Before
throw
you
a batch
cook
of
it?
steamed shrimp in for people who ordered steamed
Yeah.
shrimp to go, we throw them in shells all steamed,
Mhm.
spiced out the
Oh,
door.
all
But if
right.
I was to eat some personally,
Yeah.
I'm going to take them to the back and peel them up real quick, leave the tail shell on, and just throw them in the steamer. That
Yeah,
way
you get
I
all
don't
that
have to worry
flavor,
about
too.
peeling them.
Do
Yeah.
you eat them deveined, or you eat that damn poopy vein and
They
everything?
don't taste like anything.
Look, I think it tastes delicious. It's
There's
I
no
don't
of it.
mind it. I know people who will freak the hell out over it. I don't care. I'll eat it.
I got into
That's
a
a
fight
lot
with
of
my
work to
wife.
devein a fucking shrimp
It
too.
really
too much.
You do like 6 of them, and your hand looks like a claw at the end of it.
You don't have a
Yeah.
lot left afterwards either, though, because you're cutting out a shit ton of that meat to get to it.
Oh, you're
Well,
doing
we
it
have
wrong if you cutting it. You gotta run
There's
a
a
fork
special
up in
hook.
there.
Yeah,
We
but
have a
it rips
special
shit
hook
out.
that they sell, and that
Yeah, I've got a
it's
couple
the
of those.
best damn tool I've ever used in my life. And
Yeah.
it got to the point where I would just sit in the back and I would be peeling shrimp for 2 hours because it was, one done, one done, one done.
Mm.
And if you were lucky enough, you did it in one swipe. The vein is supposed to come out with the back part of the shell. If you did it right.
Interesting.
Awkward
Eating
silence.
fish. Do y'all catch so much fish every day? Do you ever bring that shit home to eat? You're like, I don't want to look at it, smell it, fuck with it. Or
Of
y'all
course.
eating fish?
So if you have a fisherman in the family, you would expect to just walk into that person's freezer and see it's chock full of whatever that person's fishing, and then they trade. Hey, I got some shrimp. You want some shrimp? Sure. I got some tilefish or some mahi to give you for the shrimp. Or we do it's a lot of bartering around here. Still, we do a big bartering system amongst the locals when it comes to fresh seafood.
That makes sense. Makes sense.
All right. All right. So I'm trying to think. So as I clear my throat on this awesome mic that just ruined all of it. All right. So I don't know if you listen to the show. We're going to have this wrap up question, right? This whole segment. And it's the only segmented part of this show. And I'm trying to think because
Hold up. It is the worst segmented show of segments because the only thing that's segmented is that it's at the end of the show and there's written down questions, but this shit we might talk about one question for 30 minutes after you ask it.
It's very true.
Absolutely.
But
especially if I'm on here.
I think so. I created
this
these
is going to
questions.
be interesting too with a straight up salt
Well,
water.
that's what I'm wondering. So I want a little background before we get it. Hold on, I want a little background before we get into it.
You got to ask our questions. Don't change no shit up. I'm glad you didn't try to change the name again. I am on one now.
I'm not changing. I'm not changing shit. The only thing I'm changing is the co-host. So everybody, again, go to that phone number, submit your replies to become the co-host.
He needs your 15-second pitch, co-host pitch.
You know what? Fuck that. You're absolutely right. Hold on. We're gonna cut it here. Here's what I want. We're not cutting anything. This is what I do during the show. So I remember to write it down. Here's what I need, people. I need you to go to 609-837-9394. I want to hear your 15-second elevator pitch to be the new co-host of Bass and Brews. And, basically include why you're better than the Jabber Hammer. But, so we've had primarily saltwater, I think, just kind of in that realm. I think you're the second person we've ever had who is primarily saltwater. Mm-hmm. And the first person, that was the second episode ever, and we didn't even have these ridiculous questions. So do you have any background in freshwater bass fishing at all?
Very little.
Okay.
I've done it. That's all, but not much. Not as much as I've rigged a bottom rig.
That's okay. You've done it. That's all that matters.
All right. So before we get to this and these questions, I mean, you already preface it saying that you haven't done it a lot, but this is the shotgun round. This is where the night goes bad when you shotgun a beer and everything goes to shit. This is Sunk People. So before you even get there, I want to give you an opportunity to give any shout outs or anything you'd like to do now.
I'd like to thank my mom. I feel like that's always that one person everybody's gonna thank my mom.
Hell yeah, Mom. Actually, that's the first time anybody's thanked their mom on this show.
I think it is.
It is.
I think it is.
And that's
Yeah,
making
bunch of
TikTok.
degenerates. You're the
Yeah,
first
shout out to my
non-degenerate.
mom, because she got me here, of course. And she pushed me. She pushed me to get through college, and college also got me into what I'm doing as far as photography. And, you know, shout out myself.
Where can we find you on social media?
Island Time Photography on Facebook, Island Time Photography OBX on Instagram, and I think I'm the only one I'm the only Outer Banks photographer on TikTok. That is, I took that handle a long time ago, and I took advantage, and they'll never get rid of that handle because it's done so well.
What's your fiance's boat's name?
He doesn't have that boat anymore. It was the handful. He's working on getting his smaller little skiff back together.
Okay. Huge shout out to your marketing ploy. I think I can't remember how long ago you put the video on, but it's genius on where you take photos of these rentals, but then you put your card on their fridge. Like, that's fucking
oh my god,
money.
that was so classic.
So money. All right, so this is going to be a set of rapid fire questions. We don't we don't need an explanation until we ask for it. Some inappropriate answers would be, well, I don't know. The situation depends. None of that shit flies here. It's got to be right off the cuff.
Got it.
All right.
Shoot him.
Where's the button? I need a button that has, when we start the shotgun round, we have a button that goes, boom.
Get this man a soundboard.
Thank you. Get me a damn soundboard.
All right, so hold on. Before we go through, if you guys would like to get Paul a soundboard, what you can actually do, I've been trying to find the right way to put this out there. If we want to get Paul a soundboard, here's what you guys need to do. You need to buy some stickers, which would be dope. But also, you could head over to the Bass and Brews TikTok channel. Look in that link tree. We have a Patreon, a brand new revamped one. And again, nobody's trying to get rich here. Well, Paul is.
Well, I need.
But if you want a soundboard, that's how you can happen. You can become a Patreon member. Enough of you guys become one. The first time we pull out of all that money, I'll make sure that I send Paul a soundboard, and that'll be, or Paul or whoever the new co-host is going to be.
Well, first off, I need two things, and they are both of great importance. And number one, a fucking air conditioner for the garage in the summertime.
Oh my gosh, get this poor man some AC.
No, he needs the heat. No, he needs the heat. He's too fat on camera. It costs us extra money with all the extra pixels he takes up.
Do you sell equipment here in North Carolina?
Hold up. I'm so big I take up pixels. That's fucked up right there. That's the best thing you've ever said on this podcast, Alex.
And what's number two, Paul? You said air conditioning, 1 and 1. Anyways, if you guys want to, I don't want to hear from you anymore. The soundboard,
damn it.
What's that? Huh? What was that, Paul?
What? Well,
anyways, so yeah, if you want to hook up Paul, muted me, god damn it. All right, if you want to hook him up, go to the Patreon or just support us in general. If enough people join, we're probably going to start some giveaways monthly once we get over 20 Patreon subscribers. Subscribers are also going to have first shot at new stickers and new merch. So that was a good segue, Paul. Not really.
That term is being overused. We need to find another word
other than what?
And spelled improperly. But anyway,
how do you want to? No, we're gonna. What's another word for segue that you'd like to use?
I don't know. I have to go look at my synonym book.
Transition.
Pants, yes, I love them. I've got a pair on right now. They're shorts because it's fucking 72 degrees in January, so I had to transition out of my pants into shorts.
You had to transition from winter to spring.
Speaking of transition pants, I used to be a huge fan of the Redhead brand at Cabela's or Bass Pro because they were cheaper than the Columbia brand by a lot, by like $40. I loved them. And then I went to Academy Sports, and they had some transition pants with this is the fattest shit I've ever said on this podcast, with elastic in the waist. And I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to get a couple pair of those. But they suck. The buttons have already broke off. The side, my little side pockets, the little cargo pockets get caught on shit and they've ripped out, and I've lost all kind of shit in them bastards. They're just cheap, but they do have left and right on the zippers, so it made it easier to put the pants back on when you had the pants. But I went to Academy the other day and they have a new style of transition pants out, and they have the elastic. They don't come with that shitty little belt. And they have a zipper on the left, a cargo pocket on the right. Both ass pockets have good zippers on them. They're comfy as hell. So go to Academy Sport. I forgot the name of it, but you'll know the difference.
The look on your face when you're talking about that's the happiest I've seen you in years.
He was excited about his pants.
Right? He was emotional.
My first Instagram videos were showing people how to operate transition pants. That's what I was known for before I was known for anything else on the social media.
I understand his love for pants, because when you find a good pair of jeans, my God, it's a very heartwarming moment.
I think jeans are way different from transitional pants.
These are pants when you need pants and shorts when you need shorts, but they're the same pair of garment.
Love it.
You have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about with transition pants, do you, Chandler?
I do not.
I could tell.
That was before my time.
What do you mean? They're now.
No, it's like the.
It's the ones that it's the dad pants. It's the ones that zip off at the knee.
Oh, she's looking. Homies just came out of the shower.
Got out of the shower.
He just got out of the shower. The wang is hanging out, and she's happy about it. She didn't know. She's taken aback.
Y'all remember that?
Turn the heat on.
There, I just got a shower.
This is going to be the first time the guest hits the end button in the middle of a sentence like Alex does. Gotta go.
All right.
Gotta go,
Here
guys.
comes rapid fire. This is the shotgun round. Wacky or Texas rig?
Just you, Chandler. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Perfect. Crocs or flops?
Flops.
Boo.
I expected that. Are Crocs even allowed on the Outer Banks?
Yeah.
They're frowned upon.
Everybody that wears Crocs on the Outer, y'all pick on those people. I love flops, but if I'm around water, I wear Crocs because the flops get all damn wet and slide off my feet and shit.
I can understand it.
You gotta put them suckers in four-wheel drive.
My dog chewed the 4-wheel drive off. I've got neutered Crocs.
Oh,
and
Lord.
I've had them so damn long that where the pad of my foot is, it's almost worn through.
So you can kind of see asphalt through it.
I can feel it. I can feel the asphalt through them.
Get this man a new pair of Crocs too.
I need to. Yeah. No, they're good. I just need to get them. I need to take them to a tire shop and get them retreaded.
There we go.
All right. Slow jams or hype music?
Hype.
Hype. I like it. If you are fishing for 5 hours, would you like 1 7-pound bass or 5 2-pound bass?
5 2-pound bass.
Whoa! Why are you taking them home to eat them? What? This is interesting. Why 5 2-pounders?
I want to make my time fun. So look, when it comes to me, I've been patient when it comes to fishing, line and hook, because especially on freshwater, because I just have never had the luck. So if I have the opportunity to catch more than one fish and make that 5 hours go and be enjoyable, I'm going to take the 5 and 2 pounds.
I dig it. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Fuck no. No judgment. No judgment, but fuck no.
Oh,
now,
no, there's full judgment for
free?
everybody.
I work at a pizza place, so I had to assemble them, so I get it. But it's just not.
Did you say fuck every time you put a piece of pineapple on it? Fuck, 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 fuck.
Maybe. When I really didn't want to make it.
Would you eat
those
large...
Canadians have done? Hold on, man. I got it. Damn it, Alex. You made me forget what I was going to ask her. Damn it. Oh, will you eat the pineapple pizza if it's there and free? Or are you that against it? Okay.
Oh, of course. If it's one that's available, I'm going to eat it.
There you
I'm
go.
not rich.
She'll eat anything that's free.
Oh, you gotta be careful when you say things like that.
Oh, no, that one's going on TikTok. Hey, everybody, go follow Island Time Photography. She'll eat anything that's free.
It's okay. I'll deal with it.
Well, speaking of eating things, do you eat largemouth bass?
I don't believe I've ever had one before.
It's delicious.
I'll have
It
to try
tastes
it
better than
sometime.
anything you catch out the ocean.
If it's cooked right.
Well, I mean, deep
Good,
fried. How the fuck else would you eat fish
Look, I
out of
had
the freshwater?
experience with freshwater, of eating freshwater fish, and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I prefer a fish out of the salt.
Well, if you go baking freshwater fish, you have fucked up. And it is going to be an enjoyable experience.
And that's how Paul gained 5,000 pixels when he started the show, was by frying everything.
Well, we're going to talk about white perch and raccoon perch or redfin perch. I like them on the grill, with, wrapped in aluminum foil.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Foil with a little bit of butter. That'll yeah, you can cook any fish in that. You'll be all right.
Except for freshwater fish.
Speaking of something that's tough to cook, Chandler, have you ever eaten beaver?
No, I have not. I wouldn't diss it. I would try it.
It's delicious. You should, when you come inland, and you said you got some family inland, if they country enough, I'm sure they can find a beaver. Good eating.
They're hoity-toity is what we would call them.
Oh,
So they ain't eating beaver?
Probably not.
wait. Inland people are hoity-toity, or your family?
My family.
Oh, okay,
My family that is inland.
gotcha. All right.
So they got a big house inland and one on the beach. Oh, and one on the outer banks.
They got two houses,
They
one
the
job.
two house people.
Back in the day, yes. Back in the day, yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, I think that was all the questions, right? Jabberhammer, you're gonna correct me. Did I cover them all?
I don't know. I thought you.
I fucking did.
All the shit you write down, Alex, to ask, and the one thing that you don't write down is the most important part. Let me go. Crocs, flops, pineapple. You spend more on a rod or a reel, Chandler.
Oh,
The rod.
that's a
I was
saltwater
before.
answer.
I mean, it'll depend on what my budget is, but sometimes the reel would be better because of drag, and other times I'd rather have more of a soft tip.
I love it when we got salt. Again, the saltwater folks throw us off, and it's great. I'm glad that we were able to throw the because again, Bass and Brews. I mean, by bass we mean fish. We mean the outdoors.
Exactly.
Actually, you guys are our first show of the year, right? And you guys are going to kick off a set of 3 episodes that are not in our normal wheelhouse. So
I feel honored.
Yeah.
We feel honored.
It's going to be awesome.
Y'all should be.
It's
Y'all
going to be
should be
awesome
honored.
because when the end of the year kegger show happens this year at 2023, the
I'll be
question is
there.
going to be asked, who was the first episode of 2023? And it's going to be you.
Oh, we feel so special.
Yeah, you got that internet fame unless the show eventually burns to the ground and we get canceled.
I won't let that happen.
Well, Alex is taking resumes for another co-host, so it'll probably shit the bed shortly after he hires somebody else.
I might be hiring something for me. No, it's not real.
I ain't doing this. Hey,
This guy. That's cool.
I'm not doing this shit with nobody else. You can fucking forget that.
What happens if I could just get a cutout of me and then have somebody else have to like stand behind it?
Well, you have to make sure that it is life size, so
stop.
that
Shut up, motherfucker.
so that the microphone, so your eyes are below the microphone, and then I can deal with that.
Chandler, thank you so much for being on the show. It was great. Hang out a minute.
You're
done, Paul.
Stop. Sandwiches,
You're done, Paul.
sandwiches.
Oh my God.
Jeez, hold on, time out. Alex, you can't say shit. This motherfucker almost ended the podcast by asking the one question that you have to ask in this show. That is the one question you have to ask.
This question's
Bass and
patent
Brews
pending.
podcast, your weekly distraction from quality content. This is why.
All right.
Ask me
Every
about sandwiches.
every great fisherman loves a good sandwich.
He makes a
So-
mean sandwich.
So what are your top 3 sandwich proteins?
Pepperoni,
Fuck yeah.
prosciutto,
Oh, fancy.
Whoa.
and some kind of good ham.
Damn, y'all rich. Prosciutto and good ham? Damn.
Oh, I like me a good Italian sub.
We get a discount, so it don't count.
God,
I
I can't
want
believe I almost fucked that up.
Before you sign off, I want to talk about bass fishing. What's your favorite top water lure to use?
I don't. If you would come in front of the camera, it'd be much easier to hear you.
Ah, shit.
Ah,
He
shit.
doesn't- Damn, he'd have got a whole wardrobe change.
Look at this. He's got a whole wardrobe change. Goddamn, Justin Bieber.
I'm not going to put the same stuff back on. I'm not that poor.
But you put clothes back on. When I get in the shower, I've got on like my drawers and nothing else.
Well, he did that earlier. We saw Chandler's reaction.
My favorite top water lure is a spook, a walking bait, but I like the spook, the Super Spook or Super Spook Junior. That's the one that I usually go towards. I love those two. I'll fish them year round.
I like a popper. And then if it's saltwater, I actually like a popper still. Like striped bass on a popper is money.
There's, we talk about poppers. They work awesome for speckled trout, too.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of that here in Jersey. You guys keep killing that fishery down there so they won't come up. But
Sorry.
it has nothing
I'm
to
just
do
joking.
with your
Just
polluted inlands. We have clean water down
it has
here.
nothing to do with North Carolina. It has to do with Virginia. Those bastards have been
We can like
annihilating
Virginia.
everything.
This might start a little controversy, but the Chesapeake Bay Foundation saved the bag. They haven't done anything to help at all except collect money. And that's where I believe. Y'all have a good night.
Hello, Justin
Hey.
Bieber. Thank you, everybody. Justin Bieber.
Chandler, hold on a minute. We've got a green room thing real quick. But before we leave, the most important part of the show.